Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Now at 6 a.m. on WKYT, breaking national news. A second person in the United States has now tested positive for Ebola.
New details on a third arrest in Lexington's latest murder case.
And ESPN nudges a bit on its coverage plans for Big Blue Madness. Well, of those stories and more, and breaking news as it happens, coming up on WKYT This Morning. Top of the morning to you and welcome. It's good to have you with us here as we get this day underway. It's a busy Wednesday, October 15th. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Yeah, really feeling pretty good out there. Hopefully should be pretty dry.
Yeah, a shower or two here and there, but it looks pretty good all in all. Meteorologist Micah Harris back in with us. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, I'm back in the saddle again. Unfortunately, I just could not bring you some good weather. It's ugly weather once again, but that's all right. I mean, we always need that rain. And as we push through today and tomorrow, I think that's when your ugly weather continues until we hit Friday. Now, Friday looks really good, but let's really hone in on what we're going to be expecting today. And you can see scattered sprinkles, maybe a light shower out of this, and that's about it. And that light shower activity is just to the west of Winchester, traveling over 64 and heading toward Paris. So just keep in mind, you could run into some more of a nuisance rain than anything else. Temperatures are in the 50s. It's pretty cool outside. Today's forecast, 57, so we're not really rising that much. What you feel outside this morning is what you're going to feel this afternoon with scattered showers there in the mix. Now, like I said, Friday looks good, and toward the weekend, it's kind of up and down. We get a cool shot, which means rain typically, but doesn't mean it this time, and I'll show you that coming up.
Mike, I'll see you shortly. Thank you. And we begin with a WKYT breaking news alert. A second healthcare worker in Texas has tested positive for Ebola.
The Texas Department of State Health Services says the worker reported a fever Tuesday and was immediately isolated at Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital. The healthcare worker, who has not been identified, was interviewed to identify any contacts or potential exposures. The worker provided care to Thomas Duncan, who died last week from Ebola and was the first Ebola patient diagnosed in the U.S.
Obviously, more to learn on this story this morning. We'll do that as it comes in, and of course on CBS This Morning shortly. Now locally, and new this morning, a third person is now in jail and accused in Lexington's latest murder case.
The arrest came overnight. Police say the suspect was arrested at the scene of Monday's murder. WKYT's Whitney Wetzel is tracking the investigation for us this morning in Lexington. She's live.
Good morning, everyone. A third murder suspect was arrested at this car wash just before 1 o'clock this morning. Now, this is the same place where the murder actually happened. 38-year-old Thomas Lucky is now charged with murder and robbery. Police say a fourth person of interest, Teresa Jarrett, was also found. However, she was interviewed and cleared in the case, so she is not facing any charges. Police arrested Joseph Sledge and Kavion Thomas yesterday afternoon, less than 24 hours after that man's body was found inside this Premier car wash on West New Circle. It's been closed now for almost a year. Both of them are also charged with murder and robbery. Arrest citations show Lucky, Sledge, and Thomas beat the victim to death with their fists and then stole his wallet. All three of these men will be arraigned later today. Meanwhile, the victim still has not been identified. The coroner tells us he is a white man in his 50s. Live in Lexington, Whitney Wetzel, WKYT.
Whitney, thank you. Also new this morning, a Central Kentucky woman is in jail and accused of sexual abuse. 43-year-old Joy Hayes was arrested by Richmond police. She faces several charges and 2 pending charges of unlawful transaction with a minor and tampering with a witness. Hayes lives in Lexington. We'll have more on her arrest throughout the day as we're working to learn more.
Well, 3 people accused in a Danville robbery and shooting are headed to court today. Rico Penix, Robin Adams, and Patrick Brand are scheduled for a preliminary hearing today in Boyle County. Police say they robbed the Dominoes on South Street last month and shot the clerk, 21-year-old Zoe Reed. Each is charged with assault and robbery. 2 other people have also been arrested in connection to the case, Seth Frazier and a 16-year-old.
Twin brothers accused of sex crimes are now facing more charges. When Jack Cassidy and Jerry Cassidy were arrested in August, police charged each with 3 counts. Police say more tips have led now to more charges. They say the crimes date back to the 1970s when they were Boy Scout troop leaders. The Cassidy twins have now been indicted by a grand jury. Police say they found child pornography and logs detailing sexual abuse in their home. Well, Big Blue Madness is coming up on Friday night, but for the first time in 2 decades, no local station will be airing Madness in its entirety.
After a lot of complaints from the Big Blue Nation, ESPN is responding. WKYT Sean Moody at the live desk to break down the new Madness coverage plans.
Hey there, Rebecca. If you're a Kentucky fan on Twitter, there's a good chance you noticed the hashtag #FreeBigBlueMadness. Wildcat fans across the Commonwealth have united in a common goal. They want to see Big Blue Madness live on television in full. This all started when the SEC Network bought the rights to carry Big Blue Madness from IMG. Because the SEC Network now owns the rights, no one else can show the event live. But the SEC Network won't be carrying the program. Instead, they'll show the LSU versus Missouri volleyball game. ESPNU will have live cut-ins from Rupp, as well as 5 other schools during their Midnight Madness special on Friday night. You can watch live through ESPN's website. Fans have flooded social media, the SEC Network, and their parent company, ESPN, with messages, but at this point, it appears you won't be seeing the whole thing live on television. After a lot of angry messages across social media, ESPN announced the SEC Network will show a 1-hour recap of Big Blue Madness at 11 o'clock Friday night. Now, fans snapped up the free tickets to Madness in about 30 minutes. They're popping up now on websites like eBay and StubHub. At the live desk, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Lexington firefighters want drivers to be extra cautious this weekend. The department is calling for a wreck-free day on October 19th. Firefighters say the third weekend in October is typically one of the worst in central Kentucky for crashes. Their slogan this year is "One text or call could wreck it all." Artists at a Whitley County tattoo parlor are lending their talents for a good cause.
8-year-old Darren Fuston has a rare form of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and to help his family cover costs associated with his treatment, your new addiction tattoos and piercings offered free cancer ribbon tattoos in exchange for a donation to the family.
It was just kind of took us by surprise, but we were grateful. I mean, we've had a lot of support from, local people around us, and every bit of help that we get is wonderful.
The parlor raised more than $1,000 during its fundraiser. Time this morning is 7 minutes after 6 on WKYT.
Let's check down to see how traffic is moving this morning.
Let's go out to Officer Don and check on live drive traffic. Good morning, Don. Get that mic in place.
Got that mic right here, ready to rock and roll. Hey, no wrecks right now. Traffic looks okay in the circle on the interstate as we start off this morning. Let's get a look outside and we'll show you what to expect. It's a very wet morning, and we're going to have to deal with that on the way in. We're about used to it by now, though, huh? With a live look at the interstate I-75 through the northern split. I also checked downtown a couple of minutes ago. No major issues getting there on South Broadway or North Broadway for that matter. As we check out our Waze map this morning, you can see that live drivers on the way in, and so far we're okay. So, traffic slowing down in different places on the circle as we approach Leestown and Winchester Road in the Hamburg area. But it looks like traffic flow, at least, handling things and any major issues there. We'll keep you up to date. Now back to you.
Okay, looks good. Thank you. And Officer Don and Deanna on 98.1 The Bull, having some fun, playing some music, talking about Garth, all those things.
They like to talk about Garth.
So when you get in your car this morning, you can join in on that. WKYT this morning is just getting started. We have a lot more news for you here on this Wednesday.
It's hard to pilot a pumpkin, especially in the water, but that didn't stop these thrill seekers.
And we're looking outside this morning, seeing the bulk of the rain move across the East Coast. So that's on out of the way. Now we're going to get the wraparound moisture in that low that's going to continue to slide right across the region. That will give us even more rain to deal with. And I'll explain that forecast coming up.